Harris Chaudhry is with me this morning from InnovaDerma. Harris, good morning, good to see you.
Good morning, good to see you again.
A trading statement out this morning from you, 6 months to the end of December, a strong period for you. Revenue up 31%?
Yeah, it's up 31% year on year. We obviously are expecting that the second half would be very, very strong for us. I mean, we've been mentioning that over the last 6 months that we expect the business to be very heavily weighted towards second half. So Skinny Tan remains a core brand, and Skinny Tan delivered more than half of the revenue, almost double the revenue that it delivered in the first half towards the second half. So
right.
We expect that towards the peak tanning season, that's going to stay the same. We've also had a very, very ideal, I'd call a dream start for Roots Double Effect, which we developed in-house, launched in August, late part of August, just doing really well. And then we've got the life science portfolio and other product launches. So it's going to be very exciting, yeah.
There's lots happening. Let's talk about Skinny Tan just to kick us off with. Just remind us where it's available.
It's available in all Superdrug stores throughout UK. It's in Ireland in Boots. It's a professional range is available through multiple professional outlets in UK, in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Korea, USA, and we're kind of really getting started. Now, USA is going to get the new packaged Skinny Tan to bring it in line with our global new branding. Australia went online with the new branding around August, September. So with the NPD and with the new branding, we expect that the second half would actually see a lot of new revenue channels, which would be incremental to the existing revenue channels kicking in, along with enhancing our D2C. So it remains the crown of our jewel, so to speak.
Certainly does. You're looking to take Skinny Tan into France in the next couple of months as well, are you?
Yeah, so we are going through the process for Sephora. We are talking to another very large chain out of Europe, which has got thousands of doors. So we're expecting to have incremental retail presence in Europe, new retail presence in Australia, as well as significant new presence in USA. We've got Jesse Porter in USA, great find. He's got a lot of irons in the fire, and whilst he and the market are very excited about a lot of brands, core focus remains Skinny Tan and Roots for him at this stage.
And as a sub-brand to Skinny Tan, you're also looking to launch a new body and skincare range, are you?
Yeah, we are very strong in NPD. So Michael Hume and Louise, who are kind of running the UK and Europe, they have been looking at developing new product ranges. We launched a Body Glow by Skinny Tan, which is doing well. We have got a Salon Effect spray range, which we are in the process of launching. We've got a new face and body care range. We are expecting those to be launched in most Superdrug stores between now and March or April. Now, that is going to ensure that Skinny Tan would get out of the self-tanning, or would still be a very strong brand in self-tanning, but it would be a product, a brand which would have its tentacles literally into every single beauty niche. So you've got your body, you've got skincare, you've got face, as well as the tanning. So very strong presence. By the end of this financial year, we'd be expecting that we get into new large retail chains in UK and overseas. We'd be launching Skinny Tan as a beauty brand rather than a self-tanning brand.
Tell me more about Roots. That's performing really strongly. That's also available in Superdrug stores?
Roots, yeah. I mean, we develop Roots in-house through the NPD team. We launched it in Superdrug select stores of Superdrug in August, kind of late half of August. It started tracking well in September, October. It had a dream start. It had a start that surprised us, that surprised Superdrug, and it's really good to see that we have followed on through a new product range which we developed in-house after the success of Skinny Tan, which kind of put to the myth that we had Skinny Tan and somehow it's developed really well, and that the company does not have the capacity to leverage its D2C platform to bring new brands. We have extended the range of Roots. There's a lot more NPD in the pipeline and a lot more coming. Superdrug had been very thrilled, and as part of that, our executive team and Superdrug's team are collaborating on extending the range and launching the extended range, as well as a lot more presence in more Superdrug stores. So the decision we actually took to have this strategic alignment with Superdrugs paid a lot of dividends, and with the week-on-week, month-on-month significant increasing revenue and client base on Roots is really good. Additionally, this brand could be marketed any part of the world without any changes. It is non-seasonal. So from my end, I really believe that Roots, fast forward 12 months, that Roots would be very significant part, if not the largest part of our business based on our Dream Start.
Well, you say you've been surprised by just how well it's been received. Why do you think it's been so popular?
I think two key things. We have ensured that when we're creating the brand, that the brand resonates really well with a target market that we understand really well. So when you're in direct, what I call the intimate contact with your client base through D2C, and you've got the feedback, almost live feedback from hundreds of thousands of clients that you're dealing with, you're able to create a product which would have an existing demand. You're kind of not really creating a product and saying, well, how do I actually go and market it? You're looking at a demand side and saying, well, if this is a feedback that my clients tell us about other products, it could be their hair needs, could be body needs, could be hygiene, could be personal care, then it allows us to go through all our intellectual pool of information that we have developed through D2C, through hundreds and thousands of those interaction, client base, and develop a product which clients like. Now, in terms of the branding, in terms of the brand ethos, being cruelty-free, vegan-friendly, natural ingredients, and then it's got no sulfate, no paraben, no silicone. So it works. Now, female target market between the age of 35-55, which is our core target market, I think we have hit. We have launched a product which has really resonated well with them, and we have got now hundreds of reviews from people which are unsolicited, talking about how well the product is, and how well it has performed in terms of reducing their hair loss, in terms of strengthening their hair and all. And there's nothing more important than a person telling other people within the network how well that product has done for themselves, and that effectively creates the momentum. So I think we are at the start of a very significant momentum, both retail and D2C, which gives us enough confidence to launch it in global markets.
So you reckon that could be just as popular, if not more popular, than Skinny Tan?
Look, Skinny Tan is a phenomenon. There's absolutely no doubt. But it has a very limited market. It is cyclical as well. So you've got 3 to 4 or 5 months which are very peak, and then you kind of and then there's 5 to 6 months which are relatively offbeat. And the reason for us developing new brands in beauty is to make sure that we don't go through the peak and offbeat periods throughout the year. But Roots is global. Roots is where people, females especially, which is our core target market, works for men as well as works for females. But we just want to identify a market which we know really well. We know their behavior, we know what they like, we know that we have got a product which resonates well with them, and then localize the content as far as the marketing is concerned, both for D2C and retail, and launch in global markets. So the product is in the next few months would be ready to launch globally. So we believe that fast forward 12 months that we'd be sitting on very significant revenue number for Roots.
Very exciting. As far as some of your other brands are concerned, Charles & Lee, you're about to take that into a couple of other countries?
Charles & Lee, we launched in Australia, one of the largest department store chain, Myer. It's performed really strongly. We launched it just before Christmas. And there's NPD with the hygiene as well as shaving range, which is being added to Charles & Lee. It is in the process of being launched both in South Korea and South Africa. Jesse is working very hard in opening up the markets in Canada and USA. We've got a lot of interest from those markets. So again, I think over the course of this half year, we'd see significant traction happening for Charles & Lee in new markets.
And Stevie K going well?
Stevie K, Kate, who's the founder and the general manager of both brands, Stevie K and Charles & Lee, had been working non-stop in extending creating new product lines and extending those product SKUs. So she has just completed that process. So we are in the process of ensuring that when we're launching Stevie K Cosmetics, it is launched as a complete color cosmetic makeup brand. With that, we expect would have anywhere from 55 to 70 product SKUs, so product lines. So basically, the whole process, or we could actually go into the market and launch the lipstick in a retail range and all, but in order to have a long-term, sustainable, and a very significant presence in the market, it was important for us to do justice to the product lines. That process is now complete. So Jesse in USA, Michael in UK, and Marcus and Monica in Australia, they are looking at which new avenues we have to launch Stevie K once those extended products are developed and they're ready to market.
And you mentioned briefly Prolong a moment ago. Just give us a bit more detail. What's the latest there?
We are working with a marketing and PR agency in Australia. We've been very excited. They've been working for the last couple of months. At this stage, we expect the complete creative. It's a highly creative campaign. We believe that's going to take markets by surprise in terms of the depth of the work and the creativity and how they're trying to mainstream the topic of both sexual health and control for men in terms of Prolong. It's going to be launched simultaneously in USA and Australia. So that would be, I believe, a catalyst for our life science portfolio.
Right.
That's actually going to open up the template in terms of the Hair MD, which we also expect to launch now.
That's right.
There are a lot of new products. I mean, probably sitting here for around a couple of hours talking about new products, brand and extensions. We are very keen to ensure that happens. But at the core of what I'm doing right at this stage is that I must ensure we deliver what the markets are expecting us to deliver for this half year, which means that the number is around circa 14 million top line, 2.5 million EBITDA. I'm very confident we are going to deliver that number, which means that if my focus is razor sharp in delivering that number, then there would be some shuffling around of brands in terms of the launch timelines and that actually allows me to ensure that for the foremost, delivering them to the market's expectation this full year is the core focus. And secondarily, if we have to shift some launches in some markets, we will do that. But once that has been achieved, then we have demonstrated that we can keep on creating growth in the top line and earnings year on year. And on the back of that, we can stage some increased product launches in the first half of 2019 calendar year.
Are you happy with the team you've got in place?
In fact, I've never been happier. I think the executive team that I've got in Australia, looking after Australia, New Zealand, Asia Pac, in USA, basically Jesse, and he's looking at expanding his team for the US and Canadian market, and our largest team in UK, led by Michael Hume, and together with Louise. So those are the key people who I've had multiple discussions with them. They understand what we need to deliver for this financial year. They tell me they would not let me down, and in return I can look at shareholders in the eyes and say, well, we would definitely not let you down. And this half year we're expecting big numbers coming through, both for top line and profit, and we hope that throughout until leading to June that we would be feeding anything which is material to the market, and hopefully would have the largest grin on the face come 30th of June.
I look forward to it. Harris, always good to see you. Thanks very much.
Likewise. Cheers, Andrew.